My YouTube video script says instead of another broad look at the rookie class, I want to drill down on impact. Which first-year players are actually going to decide fantasy championships over the next 3 weeks? Which rookies are going to be in starting lineups when trophies get raised and payments hit the group chat in week 17? These are the 5 rookies I expect to have the biggest impact on crowning fantasy championships 3 weeks from now, and why. Emeka Egbuka, WR, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This one is tough and I know fantasy managers do not want to hear it right now because of how bad Egbuka has been. Since week 6, he has averaged less than 10 fantasy points per game and it has felt like he is sinking your lineup every time you click start. He has absolutely left some plays on the field himself, but he is still getting the opportunity. If we are talking about rookies who are going to impact fantasy football championships 3 weeks from now, Egbuka still belongs on that list even if it does not feel like it today. And yes, Baker Mayfield has to play better. This is not just an Egbuka thing. Baker has not been good this season. But my goodness, this playoff schedule for Tampa Bay is as good as it gets. Falcons, Panthers and Dolphins, 3 defenses that can absolutely be had through the air. When you zoom out and look at the usage, the raw data still screams you do not bench this dude. Egbuka is 7th in the NFL in total targets, top 15 in target share and top 10 in routes run. He is 6th in air yards, 8th in red zone targets and 6th in deep targets. If there is an obvious star on your roster, you roll with that star, but this level of volume on this schedule is exactly the kind of usage that can swing fantasy playoffs. Egbuka still has the talent and opportunity to make a massive championship impact even with Mike Evans looking like he'll return to action this week. Tre'Veon Henderson, RB, New England Patriots. Big Hendo finally showed us in Q3 why we held on through the early season mess. He went nuclear for a 2-week stretch in November with 5 total touchdowns, then cooled off before the bye with 2 straight games under 100 total yards and no scores. That lull plus Ramondre Stevenson's return has people nervous, but the usage still points to Henderson being on a lot of championship rosters. In Ramondre's first game back, Henderson handled 18 carries to Stevenson's 6. The next week before the bye it was 12 carries for Ramondre and 11 for Henderson, with both backs earning 3 receptions. That is basically a split, which is fine when you are attached to one of the best offenses in football led by potential MVP candidate Drake May, who is playing at a historic clip from an efficiency standpoint at quarterback. We know New England trusts Henderson in high-leverage situations and we know he has the juice to flip a matchup on one drive. The playoff schedule lines up Bills, Ravens, and then the Jets in Week 17. That Jets matchup should have every manager's attention. The last time Henderson saw New York, he hung 3 touchdowns in a true breakout game. You are not chasing that single performance, but it is a reminder of what his ceiling looks like even with Ramondre active. The fear from September is long gone. We know what he is in this backfield and the impact that he can make on any given week, any given play, any given touch is absolutely worthy of having the biggest impact on crowning a fantasy championship. Woody Marks, RB, Houston Texans. Another rookie I expect to see on a ton of championship rosters is Woody Marks. He took an absolute beating in that Kansas City game, yet Houston needed every one of those 26 rush attempts and he answered the call. This rookie out of USC is not the biggest back on the field, but he runs like he does not know that. With Nick Chubb banged up and status unknown, there is even more room for Marks to own this backfield the rest of the way. Make a ready to voice, to keep the audience's attention, write only 440 word script. No number, no scene, no introduction, write neatly, with correct grammar.